Starting pitcher for the Barrie Baycats is going to be Frank Garces. His one game pitched so far, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits in that one, 1 earned run, struck out 6. We know how dominant Garces can be in his career, and the Maple Leafs, well, they know firsthand about the kind of pitcher that he is. We'll look to try to get the bats rolling early here in this one. Matt Fabian will lead things off here. He only appeared in 1 game. 3 at-bats. Low and away, ball 1. Fabian spent 2 years with the Brantford Red Sox. The big campaign coming in his rookie year back in 2023. He batted .406 with 15 RBIs, racking up 54 hits, 8 of them being extra bases. Ripped to third and caught on a line. So it's a loud and quick out number 1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Noah Hall down there at third. Quick reaction times. They call it the hot corner for that reason alone. Always got to be prepared. I'll bring up Marcus Connect, a guy who has started the year off red hot with the bat. Was leading the team in average at one point. He's cooled off as of late, but 3 hits, 2 of them being doubles. We know the power of Marcus Connect, his tenure with the Maple Leafs dating all the way back to 2018. Things evened up here to the Maple Leafs number 2 hitter, 2-2. So far, Garces, he's been sharp. Trying to hit that outside corner, but missing wide for a full count. Frank Garces coming into this season sporting a .216 career ERA. Here's a 3-2. Lifted left field. It's deep. Going back is Ejo. He's at the wall. It's gone! Marcus Connect smacks one to the left center wall, and he's put the Leafs up 1-0. An easy, smooth swing at a number 4. has put the Leafs up on top. I think it's a tough pitcher in Frank Garces. And things don't get easier. He'll have to face Yasiel Puig. He rips this to third. It's a fair ball inside the line, rolling all the way to the corner. Puig takes a wide turnaround first into second. The throw, it's not going to be there in time. So on back-to-back pitches, it's back-to-back loud contact from the Maple Leafs. And I'll make way for probably the hottest Maple Leaf to start the season, and Dennis DeBanning, mentioned during the pregame, he's homered in each of the first 3 games, 4 RBIs. It seems he can only hit extra base hits. He has 4 hits total, 1 double, and then the other 3 homers. Low and away, missing for a ball. Garces has been struggling with the command on the outside corner to start. Maple Leafs jumping all over it early. It's been loud contact by all of the first 3 hitters. This is a ground ball hit to third. Hall can't take it on a hop. It's going to pop into left field. Puig on the loose ball. He'll advance up to third. So it's runners on the corners as the Maple Leafs, they have something cooking early here in the first. Vasily Kolotis will come up here. Sporting that 1,000 batting average, 1 game with only 1 at-bat and 1 hit. Golden opportunity here to get some RBIs. Puig standing on third. Looked like Puig was signaling over towards DeBanning at first. DeBanning taken off, lifted over to left field, but it's going to be foul. So a little wind sprint there from DeBanning. Low and away, missing. So we've been up 1-1 here. It's been a rough start here for Frank Garces. Fabian led things off, and it was a loud line out over to third, and then it's been hard hit after hard hit. Here comes the 1-1. Trying to pick the outside corner, not going to be able to. 2-1. Maple Leafs really trying to pile on here. Garces with the pitch. Here's the delivery. Off speed, missing low and away. 2-2. Jordan Mandalay patiently waiting on deck. Mike Cicchetto behind him. The backstop, Wandy Cyprian. His 3rd error of the season, the throwing error will be going to him. So still a runner in scoring position, 2 in. And the count is full here. Lifted to center field. Ejo going back. He's going to line it up. DeBanning going back to tag. And Banning is going to be in there safely. No throw. Colotis got it deep enough. That's an RBI. 3-0 Maple Leafs here in the bottom half of the first. It's a great piece of hitting there by Vasily Colotis. Understanding the situation, you got less than 2 outs. Just get the runner in. Executes to perfection. Early on, the wind here in downtown Toronto looked like it's playing a factor for those right-handed hitters, blowing from right field to left. This is a chopper by Mandalay up the line. Does it have enough to stay fair? No, it doesn't. Noah Hall will just let it roll foul. Jordan Mandalay has been a nice addition here for the Maple Leafs this season on defense. He's really patrolled shortstop extremely well. Here's a pitch from Garces. This is a liner down the left field line. Is it fair? Yes, it is. Mandalay taking a wide turnaround first, but he'll hold up there with a 2-out single. Bring up the number 7 hitter, Mike Cicchetto. Maple Leafs scoring in bunches here. This is what they needed, the offense to get going early. Vasilinovic, he's most likely enjoying this on the bench right now, as this is a smoke shot, but it's going to tail in. Ijo diving, and Canis Ijo will make the grab to retire the side. Cicchetto was a little bit.
That hit Michael's car.
Did it actually?
Yeah.
I updated for you.
Who's dumbass that hit that him though?
Francisco Hernandez.
First baseman number 20, Nolan Vacavrola.
This is almost identical to his start in Barrie.
Well, at least they got that on video. If the guy wants it, if it's his first home run or something.
Dennis just keep trying, but he's like, I told him and he was like, what? And then he hit the home run. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then I was like, okay, I'm going.
Wait, are we back?
I don't know, none of us know. Nothing's really back until Thomas. Do a radio broadcast.
I can't do anything right now.
So it's
Call the game.
oh, it's good. Like OBS is up still. I can. Okay, we'll keep going.
I'm doing some power. Maybe I'm not. That's too far.
Top half of the second here. Vasilinovic gave up a solo shot to Francisco Hernandez after striking out Ryan Rio to start off the second inning. Trying to get Nolan Mackey Broda here. Off speed, missing low and away. 1-2 count. Francisco Hernandez, a lot of pop in that bat. Had 4 home runs last season. This home run here, his first one of the year. Came in batting .235. High inside missing, even up now, 2-2. They get him on the swing. The peel down to third. No, they didn't. Mackey Broda working the full count here. Coming into today, 15 at-bats, 5 hits for Nolan. 1 home run, 2 extra base hits, 3 RBIs. OPS over 1,000 for the first base slugger. Staying alive here, fouling off a tough one inside by Vasilinovic. Brandt gives the sign. Here's a delivery in the pitch from Vasilinovic, and it hits Mackie Broda right on what looks like that right shoulder. So stays alive, works the county, reaches base. Edgar Figueroa. He steps up here to bat. One on, one out. One run has come across here for Barrie in the top half of the second. So Figueroa was actually the scheduled hitter, but it looks like it's actually 23 Clayton Keys. As Keys fouls this one off, that's going to reach the top of the hill and roll onto the street. And Keys swings through a high fastball for strike three. Fourth strikeout of the day here for Vasilinovic. Wandy Cyprian comes up and he's swinging at the first pitch. Goes past him for strike one. The strikeout stuff is there for Vasilinovic. One misplaced ball is really the only damage that was done here so far this inning. Low fastball missing low and away. Beautiful night for baseball here in Toronto. Coming set. Here's the pitch. Inside. Falls behind here, 2-1. This is smoked down the left field line, but just left of the bag, foul. Wandy Cyprian sporting a 286 average coming into this one. Pitch from Vasilinovic. This is line right center field down. It's going to be extra bases. On his way to third is Mackie Broda. Into second, standing is Cyprian. And with two outs, Barrie Baycats have something cooking here in the third. I'll bring up the third baseman, Noah Hall. See, he's still looking for his first hit of the young campaign. Vasilinovic just trying to get out of danger here. First pitch swinging for strike one. Line shot. Mandalay grabs it, stops it, but he's not going to be able to get a play. And he threw it to first. Chiquetto thought that ball was getting through. He was going to the mound to cut it off, but play stops. Now everybody going to go check on Mike Chiquetto. Looks like his left leg. So it should go down as a base hit up the middle for Noah Hall, and then the extra base coming on the throwing error. End of the day for Chiquetto. He'll go straight to the bench. Kirk Gibson will just go into first, 1-for-1 swap. Well, here in the second, the Barrie Baycats answer back. Score 3. One run comes in on the hit, the other one comes in on the air over at first. Back to the top of the order, it's Kenise Ejo. Led off the game, strikeout swinging. Swinging here again, lifts us down the right field line, but foul. So quickly in the hole here, 0-2 is Ejo. Vasilinovic just trying to get out of here without giving up the lead. Go ahead run stands at second. Here's the 0-2. Just low. One-two offering. Swung on and foul yet again down that right field side. Ejo has spent 2 seasons with Barrie. Wasn't on the team last year, came back now. He was a steady presence. As he smokes this time on the left field line, but it's going to tail at a play foul. Had the distance, just couldn't keep it.
He was with the Ottawa Titans in the Frontier League.
Went and played with the Ottawa Titans out in the Frontier League. His last season with Barrie, he played in 2024. He had about a .363 with 16 stolen bases. His first season with Barrie, he had 26 stolen bases. Known for having a ton of speed at the top of the order. He's putting up a good at-bat here, fouling off some tough pitches. One and two count to the Baycats leadoff hitter. Runner taking off for third. It's a swinging strike. Brandt, he's going to get to it. Throw to first is going to be in time. The Baycats respond with 3 of their own, tie things up as we head to the bottom half of the second, 3-3 here at Christie Pitts. You're watching Maple Leafs baseball.
All right, welcome back to Christie Pitts. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Look at the standings in the Canadian Baseball League this season. Barrie out in front right now with 3 wins on the year. Zach, they had to squeak away with a win in their last time out. The Guelph Royals off to a tough start. They've had a tough schedule, though, to start the year, eh? They had that game yesterday against Welland.
It hasn't been easy for the boys out there in Guelph. You know, they're trying to get things rolling. It's just last night, a lot of what happened was that timely hitting, and they just couldn't get it. It was struggling with it last night. But for the side of Barrie, you know, you go against a team in the Kitchener Panthers who really started the season off red hot. You come into the game last night, you know, leading 5-0. You blow the lead. You eventually win it in extras. So you're trying to hopefully turn the ship around. And, well, the first inning, how that went for Garces, it was a little bit rocky.
Yep. And we talked to Brian Sewell before the game, and he said really the only way we're going to have a chance tonight is if we get to Frank Garces early, and that's exactly what the Maple Leafs did. Unfortunately for them, Barrie comes back with 3 runs on the top of the second inning. Also, apologies for the wild technical difficulties that we've been having this stream. I know there's been a bunch of YouTube links up. This is the one that we're hoping to stay on for the whole game. As many people know, CBL TV is a new thing this year, and I think a lot of other broadcasts have been having some trouble just getting all the kinks worked out with that, and we're no stranger to that as well, as you've seen this game. So apologies for that. If you don't mind, share this YouTube link with anyone that's looking for the broadcast, because we're hoping to stick around on here for the rest of the game. This is Spencer Ross leading things off here in the bottom of the second inning. Maple Leafs trying to keep the production going here against Garces, and Ross lifts this one in the air. It's shallow, but it's going to be caught out there on shortstop by Hernandez, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, as pointed out, walking back towards the clubhouse is Chiquetto. He's down that left field side, but also wanted to say, partner, I miss chatting with you in those first 2 innings. You know, obviously I know you're busy trying to get everything rocking and rolling here in our booth. Miss chatting with you.
All right, well, great to be back. I miss you too, I guess. I wasn't thinking about that for the last 10 minutes, I'll be honest.
That's all good.
Thank you. This is Matt Brandt. Hit his first home run in the Canadian Baseball League 10 days ago. It just so happened to be the last game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Brandt takes inside. 3-3 here in the bottom half of the second inning. Not the way a lot of people would have had this game drawn up with Frank Garces on the mound. The Maple Leafs also got to be thinking, man, we've had to face Frank Garces for both of his starts this year. Tough luck for them. Also, in talking to Brian Sewell before the game, he said, they thought maybe they had have a chance to get to Garces early because the mound at Christie Pitts and the mound in Barrie are very different, so maybe something to get used to for Garces as he starts to settle in here in the second inning and gets his first strike on Brandt. That counts 3-1.
And that's what it kind of looked like in the first inning. He was just trying to get adjusted, trying to get acclimated here to the mound, and it was loud contact from the first 4 batters, and then he was able to try to get settled in a little bit, but Mandalay was still able to reach.
Good off-speed pitch there from Garces, and the count's now 3-2. As Garces works his way back into the count. Here's the pitch. Fouled off at home plate, and Matt Brandt, boy, did he ever do a good job just to get a piece of that one. In a perfect spot.
Yeah, Matt Brandt has been putting up really good at-bats for the Maple Leafs. He's usually slated in that 7 to 9 hole in the batting lineup, but he's been a really good presence down in the bottom half of the order, especially if you're able to have base runners on for the top half.
Brandt hits this one in the air, shallow at second base. Francisco Hernandez makes the catch, and that's the second out of the inning, and Garces starting to find his rhythm a little bit here.
Well, this is going to be the big test for me for Garces, is how he handles this top of the order a second time through. Matt Fabian, he led things off. It was a hard line out over to Noah Hall at third base, but then it just the hard contact continued afterwards.
Fabian takes outside. Ball 1. Have you talked about the resume of Garces at all yet today?
No, I was just about to go through it.
Here's the 1-0 to Fabian. A quick pitch and it's low.
So the long resume, like you mentioned, he's a two-time champion in 24 and 18, playoff MVP in 2024, four-time member of the All-CBL team. He is also a two-time All-Star, Gold Glove winner in 2025, and the pitching champion for his ERA leading season, .38, which was all the way back in 2018.
Yeah, it was the IBL Pitcher of the Year that season. 3-0 once again here, this time on Matt Fabian. Many people will remember him playing for the San Diego Padres, pitched 47 innings in Major League Baseball. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Fabian. That one's in there for a strike. His last game was against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and I was going through some of the game logs. The last batter that he ever retired in Major League Baseball was not a batter, it was a pitcher. It was Clayton Kershaw.
Oh, that.
Here's the 3-1 to Fabian. That one's in there for a strike. Matt Fabian didn't like it. The batter before Kershaw, which not the, good guy on the mound, not the hardest guy to get out at the plate, was Jock Peterson. Took him deep for a home run. That was his last game playing against the Dodgers back in 2014. Fabian trying to get on base for Marcus Connect, who's on deck. Here's the full count pitch. This time Garces holds on to it for a long time and delivers, and it's strike three called on the inside corner. A 1-2-3 inning for Garces after allowing 3 runs in the first. A perfect second. 3-3 here as we head to the third.
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything.
It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch.
Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. And it never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand. And it's a mark of a pro.
So a resilient effort so far for the Barrie Baycats. This was last game. Zach and I were talking about in the pregame show a little bit, but this was what Josh Matlow had to say after the last game. He said it was ugly. It was an ugly game. We've got a lot to clean up. There's already been, some things that probably still need to be cleaned up a little bit in this game so far on the Barrie Baycats side of things. But, he was mostly, most of what he's talking about there is blowing the 5-run lead and giving up 4 errors last game, even though they still did come out to win. But, Zach, he's got to feel a lot better. His team goes down 3-0, and then the resilience to come back and get, 3 runs the inning later.
Yeah, I don't think the offense was really the problem last game. It was a lot of that defensive side of the ball that really kind of just bit Barrie. And when you look at it, they out-hit Kitchener 12-4. And just were able to squeak away with the win. Yeah, offense was there. They were hitting extra base hits. It's just more so when you look at the fielding side, and we talk about it, in droves that defense wins you championships. In Barrie, just last game, they just did not play sound defense, and that's kind of was the reason why Kitchener was able to jump all over them.
Yeah, and this Barrie Baycats team, they have championship aspirations. That's the foundation of that. The 1-1. Hernandez pops this one up down the left side. Brandon Hernandez was ejected from the game last night. His manager would have preferred that he was the one that came in and got ejected, not his player. So I'm sure something that they discussed after the game. Matt Brandt wanted it. He thought that he caught the top of the zone, but Veselinovic delivers that breaking ball just high, and the count's now 2-2.
The second after that pitch was called a ball, I immediately looked at the left field to see what Fabian's reaction would have been. He just kind of stood there with the hands on the hips.
2-2, and he got him. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Veselinovic on the very next pitch comes back and gets the strikeout.
6th strikeout in 2 1/3 innings pitched. You know, the stuff is there for Veselinovic. I think that's the big thing for the Maple Leafs head coaching staff, I should say, is that, you know, the stuff is there. They need to build him up. They got to get that pitch count up. That was a big talking point during the interview or pregame, was that, you know, he's on a 60 pitch count. They want to try to just keep on extending him throughout the season.
Now he'll face Noel McGarry-Doyle. Veselinovic, a big 6'5" lefty for the Maple Leafs. A young kid still, just 23 years old. So he delivers high with that fastball. Played for the Niagara Purple Eagles in the NCAA's Division I. Played with a couple other Canadian Baseball League players there as well. Matt Ward, Stephen Hospital, Spencer Marcus from the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers. And if you want a familiar face that's in this game right now, he went out and played for 3 seasons with the Sylvan Lake Gulls, where he played with Noah Hull, who's on the side of the Barrie Baycats. Also scored the winning run last night. 3-1 now to McGarry-Doyle, guy that you do not want on base because of his elite speed. A 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, and Noel McGarry-Doyle will reach first. And Barrie's got a base runner here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd.
I like how Veselinovic in the first inning really challenged McGarry-Doyle. You know, there was a lot of stuff inside on the hands, and it got him chasing a couple of times before he was eventually able to retire him looking. This time looked like he just tried to stay away from him with a lot of the stuff, high and away. You know, going with a couple of breaking balls down and away. I want to see him get back to being that aggressive pitcher we saw in the first, because he went 1-2-3 to the top of this Barrie Baycats order, and then it was Francisco Hernandez that was the one that was able to open the floodgates last time out.
Brian Sewell before the game talked about the efficiency being a key to Veselinovic's last start. As this ball is fouled straight back, just to our left onto the hillside. And he faced Barrie last time out as well, but this time the Baycats have made him work here in his 3rd inning on the mound. The 0-1 to Rio. That one's outside, 1-1.
Big at bat here. You're hoping that you can get Ryan Rio just to get on top of a ball. Good double play candidate here for Veselinovic.
Big swing and a miss on that one. Actually, the umpire said it was foul tipped into the glove, and it's 1-2. 54 pitches for Veselinovic here in the 3rd. Would love a ground ball here for Ryan Rio. Was looking for it, missed down and away. Ryan Rio has always had a knack for hitting here at the pits. It's, you know, obviously a very hitter-friendly ballpark, but Rio has a couple big flies here in Toronto. This time he chops at it, and it goes to the backstop. Got just a piece of it.
Yeah, it looked more so like a protection swing there, and, you know, nothing really on top of it. Just wanted to get a piece of it, stay alive, and get another pitch to swing at.
2-2 on Rio. Pitch high, throw down to second, and McGarry-Doyle's just too fast. Boy, Zach, I don't know about you, that didn't look like the best jump, but he's just so quick he was able to beat it out.
I think with a clean throw down, it's probably a lot closer of a play, but yeah, you mentioned Noel McGarry-Doyle, so good with his speed. Mentioned it right off the top when he was 3-1 in the count. That this is the last guy you want on base with how good he is at stealing, and, well, there's Ryan Rio doing Rio things, working a walk.
Behind in the count, battled, fouled some pitches off, and pitch count's really starting to climb here for Veselinovic. And actually, Brian Sewell omitted the information before the game that he's on a pitch count, and it's 60. So this is probably the last batter here for Veselinovic. Earlier we saw Capuano warming up. Now we see Hermida, who will get his first appearance as the Maple Leaf if he comes into this game.
Yeah, nobody is throwing off a mound yet. We've seen a bunch of long toss and, you know, guys just getting loose, but Hermida now looks like he's actually starting to turn it loose a little bit more in the bullpen.
Yeah, that's him right there. He'll be a fun watch if he comes into this game. Played in the Mexican League for a couple of years. Here's the pitch, fouled off by Francisco Hernandez.
Francisco Hernandez earlier in the ball game, he was the one that got the offense rolling for the Baycats. It was a deep home run that hit off the clubhouse, off of a car that's parked over there in center field. He got every stitch of the baseball.
So this time, Veselinovic crosses him up and gets him swinging. 2 outs in the inning.
7 strikeouts for Veselinovic.
Now here's Nolan Macabroda. The Baycats have 2 home runs this season. Both of them came in that game against, or 2 of them came in that game against the Maple Leafs. Yeah, true. Yeah, they have won this game. Macabroda up the middle. Here's a long throw to first, and it's in time. Maple Leafs get some more sparkling defense up the middle. It's picked at first by Gibson, and they will get through this inning scoreless. 3-3 here at the pits. Well, welcome back to Dominico Field. A look at the home run leaders early in this Canadian Baseball League season. Dennis DeBanning is going to come up this inning for the Maple Leafs, and he's been great. 3 home runs in his first 3 games.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. He's swinging the bat extremely well, and I think what shows is it's the way he gets his production with the bat. It's quick hands through the plate, long through the zone, and just so much power. Dennis DeBanning, a guy that plays with just tons of passion.
I've been working a lot of Blue Jays Central lately, and I've been listening to Kevin Barker a lot, and that's what he loved to say. Short to it, long through it.
that's the key.
That is DeBanning's swing in a nutshell. And this guy at the plate has a similar swing also in Marcus Connect. Someone who started his career thinking very technically about baseball, and now is thinking of baseball more as a mindset more than anything else. And Marcus Connect's having fun playing baseball again, which is something that's good to see. And boy, is he ever a big part of this Maple Leafs lineup.
Well, he connected with one earlier back in the first, hitting over the left center wall over to the skate park.
Marcus takes outside. Yeah, the extra base hits have been plentiful against the Barrie Baycats. He doubled twice in the Leafs' 6-1 loss a couple weeks ago. 1-1. That one misses.
Yeah, he really worked the at-bat to start the game against Garces back in the first inning, and then he finally was able to get one to hit, and he did not miss it whatsoever.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's fouled off, and Marcus has got a good cut at that one.
We've seen Connect go on runs where he looks like the best hitter in the league. And how you know he's in a good place is when he's being very selective of what he's seeing at the plate. He's not just free swinging. He's going up there with the plan. And like early in the season, it looked like he sacrificed the power a little bit, was just more so going for the base hits, the doubles and everything. Took a big swing in the first, though. And that was the home run.
Counts now 3-2 on Connect as he was able to play off that outside fastball from Frank Garces. Garces picked the inside corner to get a strikeout and get himself out of the second inning. Now the full count pitch here to Connect. Yasiel Puig looming on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nasty stuff there from Garces as he gets Marcus Connect swinging.
That's his second strikeout of the ball game, back-to-back strikeouts. He ended last inning, I should say, with Matt Fabian going down looking.
So here's Yasiel Puig, ripped a ball down the line for a double and then came in to score later on a sacrifice fly. This is going to be a fun matchup all season, watching two Major League Baseball players face off against each other in the Canadian Baseball League.
Yeah, you mentioned that Garces' last time playing was against the Dodgers. I was going to ask you, I wonder, what Puig did against him in that game.
Here's the 0-1 pitch, and it's fouled off. Well, in the Canadian Baseball League, Garces, I think this would be the 5th time because the Maple Leafs went 3 times through the order. Puig walked twice, was retired once by Garces, so Frank Garces has only got him once so far. The 0-2. Puig gets a piece. And I mean just gets a piece of that one. Still 0-2 on Yasiel Puig. Gonna have to battle here against Garces, who can put this pitch pretty much anywhere he wants ahead in the count. Puig takes outside, just outside. Garces wanted it. Puig would have had something to say if that one was called strike 3. He wears his emotions on his sleeve out there. You can always tell exactly what he's thinking. The 1-2 pitch. Puig fouls it off.
Almost a fantastic catch on the fly up here at the top of the hill.
And keep an eye out for Yasiel Puig. There's that famous picture, well, there's many of them when he was playing in Major League Baseball, where he would lick the bat after fouling a pitch off. He's done that a couple of times. Little Easter egg to watch out for when he fouls the ball off. Didn't do it that time, though. Here's the 1-2 from Garces. And Puig fouls it off. And he did it that time. You see that?
It's always interesting to see it because, most players, if they foul off a pitch or, they think it hit the bat in a weird way, they'll smell for the fresh wood.
Yeah.
If the bat broke, Puig just licks it.
Yasiel takes it to the next level. The 1-2. Low. Check swing, no. 2-2.
Dangerous batter and DeBanning looming on deck.
That's Dennis DeBanning. This has been a great battle between Garces and Puig. Frank Garces taking his time with this one. Now delivers the 2-2 pitch. And Puig rips one on a line to left. And that one's down and will go to the wall. Yasiel Puig making the turn. Here's the throw to second base. In time, Puig with a swim move, and he's safe! Oh, he got around the tag! Electric stuff from Yasiel Puig at second base, but now there's a bit of concern as Puig looks like he may have injured himself on that play.
Yeah, he went for the head first slide, and he slid in there awkwardly, and it's his left arm.
Well, he did kind of look up and call time, so Yeah, but he's in a bit of pain here.
It was the left arm. He went in for the head first slide, and when he went to go around, his arm kind of got caught right on the base.
Yeah, so here's another look at it right here.
Yeah, you'll be able to see it. It's right here. That left arm gets jammed right into the ground.
Boy, Hernandez was not happy about that afterwards, after that on the call.
And the thing I want to know is behind the play.
They called him out.
So was that Matlow getting thrown out of the game?
No, that was them calling.
No, I think they had a.
They overruled the call.
Yeah, they had a meeting on the field with all the umpires, because that's what I was going to say. Was behind the play. Noah Hall at third base was looking to the home plate umpire, and he was doing the motion saying, "Can you guys check that with one another?" He was doing it, and I thought for a second that they were going to throw him out for saying you missed the call, but no, he was asking for a crew chief review, saying, "Can you guys ask to see if that was actually safe or out?"
Well, that's crazy. The Maple Leafs coaching staff isn't going to be happy about that, because they would think that the guy standing right in front of the play would be the one who has the best view of it. But that gets overturned, so Puig goes back to the dugout. Hopefully he's okay. That's a unfortunate play for the Maple Leafs if Puig isn't able to come back into this game.
Yeah, it looked like he jammed his left wrist is when he went down to try to avoid the tag. He looks in good spirits on the bench, though.
Yeah, he kind of looked up and smiled. We had a great shot from our camera crew there when he was looking back at the umpire when he called time. So hopefully that's a good sign. That's obviously what the Maple Leafs are thinking as well. Here's Dennis DeBanning with 2 outs in the inning. He looks like he's set to go back out in the field there.
He's locked into this game, no matter what. It's going to take a lot to get Puig out of this one.
Oh, yeah. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Dennis DeBanning, and that one's in there for a strike. There's been a lot of people who would look at Yasiel Puig with his resume and think that, it's a bit of a gimmick that he's playing on the Maple Leafs. But I remember the first question that I asked him was, just about the opportunity to play here. And the first thing he said was he wants to bring a championship to Toronto. So does Dennis DeBanning. He lifts this one in the air, and that one's down for extra bases. DeBanning steaming around first. Here's the throw to second, and DeBanning able to get into second base quickly. He's got himself a 2-out double.
That is just, again, Dennis DeBanning continuing to play fantastic baseball. We talked about what he was able to do in the first 3 games with 3 home runs. He also had a double there. He's had 6 hits now, and 5 of them have been extra bases. He is really seeing the ball well.
Yeah, he sure is. That one didn't go out of the park, but, that's a great swing. Anytime you can take the ball the other way right into the gap like that. Here's another look at it. Look, he just taking what the pitcher gives him. It's a breaking ball down and away, takes it the other way. Excellent swing there from Dennis DeBanning.
Vasily Kolotis, last time up, was the sac fly to deep center field. He executed his job perfectly now. Different situation. You still have a runner in scoring position, but you need a base hit to try to cash.
Vasily Kolotis, a 25-year-old player for the Maple Leafs. Here's the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. That was a slow breaking ball from Garces, and Kolotis was way out in front.
He looked like he initially saw it very well out of the hands of Garces, but the way it broke is just, he was still so out in front of it, like you mentioned.
0-2 the count now. Garces finds himself well ahead in the count. That one misses. Maple Leafs have lots of D1 and D2 talent this year. Kolotis fits into that mold. Played for the Appalachian State Mountaineers in the NCAA's Division I. Did that for 3 seasons. Finished up in 2023. And then he fouls it back. Right next year, he went out and played in the NAIA, who the Maple Leafs have a lot of players from there as well. Played for the Milligan Buffaloes. Battling here against the former big leaguer in Garces. 1-2. Runner in scoring position. Dennis Debanning can fly if Kalutis can get this one into the outfield for a base hit. A 1-2 pitch. And it's just low. That takes some plate discipline to lay off of that one.
Yeah, and he's had 2 really good at-bats dating back to the first at-bat of the season that he had. It's just he's seeing Garces very well so far. The off-speed that Garces threw that he was out in front, it looked like he initially saw it, but he just wasn't expecting it to be that slow of a breaker.
Pitch number 57 from Frank Garces here in the third. And it misses outside, full count. Kalutis working the count here against Garces. .32 strikes, 24 balls for Garces before that pitch. Missing the zone more than we usually see on a typical Garces night. A full count pitch. Kalutis dishes one on a line to short. That one's caught by Hernandez, and that will end the inning. The Maple Leafs get a runner in scoring position. I have a little bit of concern about Yasiel Puig, hoping that he jumps back on the field, and we're tied at 3 here at Christie Pitts.
Everyone dreams of
What I look
being
for in
great.
Rawlings is
Only a select few
combination
can be
of things.
iconic.
Something
But only
that will
one
kind of maintain
is chosen.
for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings.
Introducing the Chosen
What I like about
from
my Rawlings
Rawlings.
glove is the feel. The feel is everything.
The all-new
Get a feel
one-piece
in your hands
composite
and have a
iteration
Rowling.
of the top-rated and established Icon
Weight
BB
goes a long
Core
way. I
bat.
feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. It never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand, and it's a mark of a pro.
Rolando Hermida into the game for the Maple Leafs. He's the new pitcher. 5'9" righty will take on Keys in his first bit of work here in the Canadian Baseball League. And his first pitch is just high, ball 1.
Be a good test here for him against the bottom half of the lineup. He has Keys, Cyprin, and Hall due up here.
Here's the 1-0. This one's grounded foul towards third base. Hermida spent a couple of years in the Mexican League before coming here to the Maple Leafs. Keys hits one on a line. What a catch by Ross at second base. Oh, he snared that one on the run, and that's the first out.
That's a couple of good plays we've seen up the middle by this defense. We saw 2 by Mandalay where he was able to, get to the ball, and here Spencer Ross. This is on a line. You can see here, good first step by Ross. Goes right to it, a full extension, he grabs it.
Excellent play by Spencer Ross, who is known to be pretty good defensively for the Maple Leafs. He was the shortstop for a good amount of time last season. And then when Jordan Mandalay with his resume, that pushed Spencer Ross over to second base, and he's still helping out the Maple Leafs defensively. The 1-0 pitch hit on the ground. Mandalay drops it, picks it up, throws to first. Calm, cool, collected, and gets him for out number 2. Takes a couple of years of baseball under your belt to be able to field a ball like that.
Yeah, I went for it, smothered it, kept it on the ground, didn't lose the composure, stayed with the play the whole way through, makes a strong throw at first in time to get a speedy runner in. Capron.
Here's Hull, who swings and misses at the first pitch. Hermida is a guy who could be a real important piece of this Maple Leafs bullpen or rotation or wherever he ends up fitting in. Here's the 0-1. Hull swings and misses. And he's starting to find a bit of a groove out there on that new mound here at Christie Pitts.
Working quickly, too. There was the loud contact early, but other than that, it's been fast pace here.
Now the 0-2. Hit in the air by Hull. It's deep and has home run distance, but it's well foul down the line.
Hermida looking strong on the mound early on here in this one.
0-2 pitch misses outside. You know, the Maple Leafs, they're off to a 1-2 start. We haven't seen them play in a while, but you could just get the sense early on that they're looking for, a guy like Hermida who could come in and just give their bullpen a little bit of stability. A 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Noah Hull played for the U-Mary Marauders from 22 to 25. Nice 4-year career there, and then the NCAA Division II. Now hits this ball out to center field. Back goes to Banning, and it's gone. Noah Hull able to squeak that one over the wall in dead center field, and the Baycats take a 4-3 lead.
Looked like he was sitting dead red fastball, and that's what he found. Hermida tried to sneak it past him, but couldn't get it. It's a line drive right over that center field wall.
And the Baycats, who went down 3-0, clawed back, got 3 runs, and now find themselves in the lead with Kenise Ejo coming to the plate.
Been a tough start in this game for Ejo. He struck out both times he's been up to bat.
First pitch to Ejo in the dirt from Hermida. Ejo spent the majority of his time in the NCAA with Canisius Griffins. There's the 1-0 pitch. That ball's fouled off. As you mentioned earlier, also got a bit of an opportunity with the Trois Rivières out in the Frontier League. He's actually spent a bunch of time in independent leagues, in the Petcoast League, in the American Association with Sioux City. So he's been around the game, but for the last couple of years, he's been a mainstay in this Barrie Baycat lineup. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Nasty stuff there from Hermida, as Ejo was way in front of that off-speed pitch. Hermida 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning. And it's hit high in the air. This one to center field, to Banning, drifting back to the wall, and it is gone. Barrie goes back-to-back, and it's 5-3.
That was a big breaker by Hermida that Ejo just kind of sat on. You could see him. He looked like he wanted to go right after it and then waited a second and underneath it, but enough distance to sail it over the center field wall.
That was a high, majestic shot. Didn't get over the wall by a whole lot, but boy, it kept carrying. It's interesting the conditions here at Christie Pitts. It was super windy early on and blowing straight out to center field. Now it's died down. It's dead calm here at the Pitts.
It's turning into kind of a cool night now. You can kind of feel like the ball will carry a little bit more.
Yeah, right now it's perfect baseball weather actually. It'll get a bit colder, though, as the night goes on. Here's Brandon Hernandez. And he fouls this one off to the left. 5-3 Barrie here in the top of the 4th inning. Still lots of ball game to go. But any lead with Frank Garces on the mound is a good lead if you're on his team. The 1-1. Swung on and missed, 1-2. Hermida started this inning really well, made a couple of pitches that maybe he'd want to have back, maybe caught a little bit too much of the plate. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Brandt will toss this one down to first base to complete the strikeout. Hermida gives up back-to-back home runs on a couple of pitches, but does get through the inning. 5-3 Baycats here at Christie Pitts. Jordan Mandalay steps to the plate here for the Maple Leafs. Got a good play last inning to help out his pitcher Hermida. Squaring to bunt, but I don't think he meant it, and takes strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Mandalay fouls this one off. Looks like it's going to hook its way out of play. And it will as it bounces onto the hill.
When you look at a couple of the hits in this game so far, that Ejo home run got underneath it, but it was able to carry enough. The Yasiel Puig single off the wall, you know, you think if he's able to elevate that a little bit more, that's probably sailing over the wall. That was on a line. We always talk about how this ballpark plays a big factor with offenses because of how small it is and, you know, hitters-friendly ballpark. But just a couple of unfortunate hits so far for the Maple Leafs that just haven't resulted in the run.
Mandalay broke his bat on that last pitch. You know, I wonder a guy like Jordan Mandalay, How much lumber do you think he has?
Tons.
Right? Like, he's played in so many different places, the World Baseball Classic, the Pan Am Games. Like, he must have picked up a couple bats from some big leaguers or some former pros there.
He probably has a wonderful bat collection.
I remember, Rando Moreno, who was a player on the team last season, he had bats from players that played in the major leagues for a long time because he was in minor league systems for a couple of different teams. And I remember, he handed me one of his broken bats. I thought he was just handing it to me to go toss it or, put it in the firewood collection. But then I looked, I was just like, what do I do with this? He was like, look at the label on the bat. And it was Ellie De La Cruz's bat that he picked up along the way from somewhere in the minor leagues.
I remember looking through, there was bats lined up, and I saw one with the Baltimore Orioles logo.
Yeah.
And I was like, whose is that?
Yep.
Eloy Jimenez.
Yep. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Mandalay. And he takes inside. Did that ball hit him? No, it was right around his feet, but it didn't hit him. And that's ball one. Mandalay's been battling and fouling off some pitches.
So obviously, my eyesight from the top of this hill hasn't always been the greatest, but I've been noticing the little patch on the right leg of Frank Garces, and I've been trying to figure out, what is that?
Yep.
I think for the first time, there's
sponsored pants, yeah.
I've never seen that, and that's something new.
Mandalay gets a piece of this one, hooks one into the outfield. This one's right between the two outfielders, and it's going to drop! And he cruises into second base with a double. The crew here at Christie Pitt's a little overzealous with the home run horn, but it was an exciting moment. It'll probably go down as a double for Jordan Mandalay.
Yeah, very, very loud double, for sure.
Yeah, because the horn. Mandalay will take it either way. What a battle there with Frank Garces. Fouled off pitches, lost one of his bats, and just reached out. I don't know if that pitch was going to be a strike or not, but with 2 strikes, you got to protect, and he did that and more to get that one into the outfield for a double.
That's kind of the prototypical Mandalay at bat. He fights, does a good job of just getting the pitch that he needs, and he's able just to hit one where, again, it doesn't look like it's a good pitch to hit, but he's able to put damage on it. Sends that to deep right center field.
Now, from the other perspective, Clayton Keys probably would have liked to catch that ball. Looked like he did get a glove on it. But it was just placed perfectly right between center and right. Kanisi Ijo, the center fielder, he's had some great defensive plays here in Toronto. If you remember back to, was it last season or 2 seasons ago?
The robbery 2 seasons ago, yep.
Robbed the home run right out in center field.
I remember that very vividly.
Garces has missed with his first 2 here to Gibson. And now finds the zone, and it's 2-1. Kirk Gibson came into the game from Mike Giacchetto at first base, and Zach, it didn't look great. Giacchetto, kind of hobbling on a defensive play. Gibson came into the game, and you remember Giacchetto had injury troubles last year, so that's just heartbreaking to see for the Maple Leafs. As Mike Giacchetto, this was also not just a guy that they want to have out there. He's really carved out a spot for himself, but with no Jordan Castaldo in the lineup, this is a great opportunity for him to get everyday playing time and have a consistent role over there at first base, and just hoping that injury isn't too serious, as that's outside ball 4. Kirk Gibson draws the walk. Maple Leafs have something cooking here in the 4th.
And that's always the tough part about sports, right? You never want to see somebody go down with injury, especially a guy like Mike Giacchetto, where last season majority of it was basically a wash because of injuries. Comes back here this year, he knows the role that he's going to have. He knows what's around him, the system around him, and then something like this happens. So you just feel bad when you see it happen. And obviously we hope that it's nothing too long where he's prolonged out for a while. But, yeah, it's just a very, very tough one.
Great guy to talk to around the ballpark, too. I love talking to Mike Giacchetto.
Super friendly. He sees anybody from our broadcast table or any of the staff, really. He'll go up to them. He'll say, "What's up?" Give them a fist bump. Did it to me today when I walked down there.
Yeah. I play baseball with some of the kids that he coached as well. Coached at TMU for a little while. Beloved coach there also. Here's the 1-0 here to Spencer Ross. Maple Leafs with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Runners faked like they were going to go, but it was just a decoy. Jordan Mandalay still got some speed, but he's 40 years old out there at second base. I don't know. He might steal second a couple times. I don't know how many times he's going to be stealing third this year.
I actually think he got a pretty good jump on that ball, too, if he actually did go. But obviously in the situation you're down 2, you just want to have base runners on right now.
Ross checks his swing, and it was a good thing that he did because that pitch was just low for a ball. He's ahead in the count. This has Spencer Ross hitting one the other way for a single written all over it. Tough batter, or tough pitcher. Garces has loved to dot that fastball in the outside corner. He probably thinks he can blow it by Spencer Ross. Wonder if he has that approach here. The 2-1 pitch. Well, he's busting him inside right now, and he takes a strike.
We've seen a couple of times, these Maple Leaf hitters not agreeing with the call. Matt Fabian is the biggest one that comes to mind in his at-bat. Thought there were a couple ones on the inside edge that shouldn't have caught the zone. And, well, here you just kind of have to go into protect mode if you are Spencer Ross.
Deep breath from Ross at home plate. Here's the 2-2. And Ross takes this ball the other way, hit pretty well, and it's caught in center field by Ejo, and Mandalay will hold his ground. Boy, Ross may have hit that ball better than Mandalay did for a double. Hit it on a line, but unfortunately it was in the range of Kanice Ejo, and that range is pretty wide out there in center for a good defensive player for the Baycats.
Yeah, he's really good at just covering ground out there in center field. We talk about the highlights that he's had and the job that he's done, but right there, you said it, Spencer Ross hits that ball on the screws, and then he's unable to get a base hit. And Mandalay, well, he did what he did, and it resulted in the double.
Now it's Matt Brandt with 1 out, and Brandt takes a strike. If you're Matt Brandt here, just find a way to keep the line moving. You've got the top of the order coming up. Get a ball in the air, move the runner to third, maybe try and take a ball the other way. Now Matt Brandt has that home run that he had last game maybe in the back of his mind as well, but this is a tough guy to do it against in Frank Garces.
I think you can say today the Maple Leafs, they've made Garces look human on the mound. With what he's done, his resume against the Maple Leafs in his career.
In the first inning, yeah.
Well, I mean, they put up good at-bats in this inning as well, even in parts of last.
2 pitches fouled off. We've seen it'll be interesting to watch the pitch count for Garces because we've seen him go really deep into games in past years. Don't look at the website right now. I don't think that's an accurate count.
I was going to say, I believe he just hit 60.
Here's the 0-2. Strike 3 called. Brandt didn't like it, but he'll head back to the dugout, and Garces is nearly out of this jam that he got himself in to start the inning. Matt Fabian comes to the dish.
On a pitch like that, it's always tough because when you're the catcher in the game, you're usually back there. You understand the strike zone better than anybody else, and it's always tough on a 50-50 like that.
First pitch from the lefty Garces to the righty Fabian, and it's low and in the dirt for a ball. Matt Fabian can get one into the outfield. He can hit singles with the best of them. Got some power as well. In 2023 had a season with Brantford where he hit .406 on the year. Almost inconceivable to do that in any league in baseball. The 1-0 pitch fouled off. That one hung a little bit, and Brandt might have missed it, or Fabian might have missed it.
I think one of my favorite things that I've heard about, people describing the sport of baseball, it's a sport designed to make you fail, because you see it, 3 out of 10 times, that's considered good.
Yeah. And Fabian almost had a passing grade that one year in Brantford. You get a couple marks bumped up from your teacher, and you're at 50% there.
And just think about how crazy that number would have been if he wasn't hitting that, going up 50% of the time, getting a base hit.
this season looking for his first hit of the year, but this is just his second game.
He had a really good at-bat to lead off the game for the Maple Leafs. He lined a ball at third base to Noah Hall, and, I mean, if he elevates that a little bit, that's probably a double down the left field line.
2-1. Takes it for a strike, and Garces is just putting that ball exactly where he wants it here after allowing the first two to reach in the inning.
Yeah, he's found the corner, and did Fabian just get thrown out?
Yeah, I think either he was arguing the call or someone from the Leafs dugout was talking to the umpire about it, and he just wanted to nip that in the bud. The 2-2. And that one's in the dirt. Good discipline there from Fabian. 0 for 2 today with a strikeout.
Full count, runners on the move. This is a perfect opportunity to possibly cash one with just a base hit into the outfield here for Fabian.
Yeah.
Got to protect anything close.
And Marcus Connect, who's on deck, is hot. Has homered already in the game. Here's the full count pitch. And it's hit in the air. This one struck pretty well to left field. Back to the wall. And it's caught! Oh, what a catch by Noel McGarry-Doyle. He reached up at the top of the wall and may have taken one away from Matt Fabian.
Speechless. This Barrie Baycats outfield continues to put up work against the Maple Leafs.
Oh, he sure did.
Oh, man. He's looking over at his partner in center field, and Ejo saying, that's how you do it? Okay, this is pretty easy.
Matt Fabian, snake bitten to start the year, looking for his first hit, gets robbed on a great play now by Noel McGarry-Doyle. 5-3 Baycats as Garces is able to get out of the jam.
Get ready, Chatham Cats. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The league's top talent, all in one place. Watch the full slate of skills competitions, including the popular Home Run Derby on Saturday, and on Sunday, the ultimate 2026 CBL All-Star Game featuring your favorite players for a mid-season showdown. Chatham Cats, it's our time. The All-Star Weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Welcome back. A little bit of wind's picked up here. A nice, cool night breeze at Christie Pitts. Blowing to left center. Hermida back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. He's facing Noel McGarry-Doyle, who put himself in the catch of the year candidate conversation, didn't he, Zach?
Yeah, what a perfect person to lead off the inning. Rob a home run at the left field wall, and now you're leading off the next half inning. Tremendous stuff. This outfield for the side of the Barrie Baycats has been so good defensively. And it's always against the Maple Leafs, too, it feels like. Can you see, Joe, we mentioned it, the Rob home run a couple of years ago. Well, now there's a new one. And Noel McGarry-Doyle.
Hermida misses with that pitch, and it's 1-1. It was right at the top of the wall. Like I'm wondering what the discussion tomorrow will be when that clip is posted on the CBL social media page. I'm wondering what people think. I mean, we got one look at it. I thought he might have robbed it, but I don't know. He was a step in front of the wall. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off by McGarry Doyle. And that one hits the ice cream truck. Boy, was that person that was trying to order a scoop of ice cream ever surprised when that ball hit off the sill of the ice cream
Not
truck.
the ice cream truck.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Hermida gets McGarry Doyle.
Hermida has shown positive stuff. It's just been 2 pitches where you just didn't locate it to your best of your ability. But really, the stuff has been moving. Ryan Rio coming up here. He struck out in his first at-bat. He reached via walk his last time up, 0 for 1 on the day.
Here's the 1-1 from Hermida. On the ground. Oh, what a catch by Hermida. He snared it on a big one-hop and flips over to Kirk Gibson to record the out.
Well, it's my favorite expression. Pitchers are athletes too, and this is what you'll see right here. Pure athleticism at a number 77. This is perfect. You see, the pitch is released, gets into a good fielding position, goes up and makes the grab. Just another day at the office.
All right, 2 outs here in the 5th. This one's on the ground. Fabian, long throw in time to get him. That'll end the inning. Clean inning for Hermida. Helps himself out a little bit with a great defensive play. 5-3 Barrie here in Toronto.
Get ready, Chatham Cats. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The All-Star weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Well, welcome back to Christie Pitts. Dennis DeBanning getting set to come up here in the 3 spot in this inning. And look at the stats, Zach, for him to start the year.
Well, the numbers, they've only gotten better here for DeBanning. The batting average gets raised. He's 2 for 2 tonight so far with a single and a double. But homering in each of the first 3 games, as well as just cashing in those RBIs. He was named the CBL Player of the Week, and for good measures. He was terrific in the opening 3 games for the Maple Leafs, and he's still bringing that passion. I don't know if you noticed it. After the second home run was given up, DeBanning goes to center field. We always talk about how he plays with his emotions on his sleeve.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to hide it. That ball went over the fence, and he smacked the center field wall in frustration. He shares it with his pitchers. He wants to win just as badly as everybody else on the team.
So you brought up the CBL Player of the Week, and I don't want to diminish that point. That is a great point about the emotion that he shows. But one of the things this year was that Sam Bat is supplying bats to the Pitcher of the Week and the Batter of the Week. And I forgot to follow up with DeBanning, but I'm just wondering, that's that's a pretty valuable asset. Like, that's a lot of incentive to win Player of the Week. Like, those Sam bats are pretty good quality
They're
bats.
great.
Yeah.
Hey, you know I use one. It's awesome.
Here's the 1-0. Marcus Connect hits one on a line, and it's off the wall. Marcus Connect is going to hold his ground at first base. He hit that ball so hard, and he was only able to get to first. And that's another good swing by Marcus.
One of my favorite plays in baseball, the off-the-wall single. It's always a fun one because you hit it so hard that you just have no chance at going to second.
Yeah, now, if that was in Barrie, that's a double. That would be another double that he's hit against the Baycats this season, but the wall is pretty short out there and left, and when you hit it that hard, there's not a lot of players in the league that are going to make it to second base, and Puig got thrown out at second base trying to leg one into a double last time he was up, so maybe that in the back of the mind of Marcus Connect as well. More importantly, this guy's got big power, and you want to be on base when he's at the plate. All right.
For a second, I thought he pulled something on his stride, but
yeah, that
might have just been taken all the way.
Mm-hmm. The 0-1. Puig takes low. He's had a bit of a demeanor change in this at bat. He looked like he may have hurt himself a little bit in that slide into second base last inning. Great sign for Maple Leafs fans to see him back at the dish. Here's the 1-1. Puig swings and misses, a bit of a half-hearted attempt as he cuts through it.
Garces, I think, actually crossed him up there.
Here's the 1-2. Puig swings and misses. Garces climbs the ladder and gets the strikeout of Yasiel Puig.
That's a big out because you want to have as little guys as possible on the bases for Dennis DeBanning, who has been swinging a extremely hot bat. And, well, when you get Puig to chase like that, it's always a good look, especially for Garces. Those are two pitches where it just looked like Garces just completely crossed up Puig.
Yeah, I also think that Puig might be feeling something in that arm as well. Like, those last two swings didn't have the same conviction that we've seen from other Puig swings. DeBanning takes a strike. Well, he's got Marcus Connect still over there at first base. Dennis DeBanning probably has 2 more at-bats left in this game, trying to keep that home run streak alive if he can. The 0-1. Big cut that time, and he came up empty. DeBanning had a great swing on a ball, one that one-hopped the wall out in right center in his last at-bat. Now he's behind 0-2 against Frank Garces.
So I'm not sure if you saw on social media, DeBanning, he posted a video saying, kind of just saying people don't notice the work that you put behind. They'll always see what happens game day. But it's just the video of him, the training regiment that he goes through to get himself ready.
That one just misses. Take us through it.
It was just, it was something where watching the video, you don't realize how much work that these players actually do put on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we see the batting practice, we see the fielding practice and whatnot. DeBanning's always a guy that's out there running as hard as he can to field the balls during BP, but the wind sprints that he was doing, the training that he was doing was just really cool to watch.
Now slashes one into the outfield for a base hit. The hard work's paying off. He's on first base. The Maple Leafs have 2 aboard here in the 5th. Tying run on first base. Frank Garces sees the pitch count climb to 80 here in the 5th inning. Vasily Kaludis comes to the dish here.
Been a big fan of how Kaludis has looked so far here today. He had a sac fly RBI in the first, lined out to shortstop his last time up in the 3rd.
First pitch from Garces. Tough lefty-lefty matchup here for Kaludis as he swings over the top of that one.
It's a tough matchup, but he's put up good at-bats in both appearances. And I think you should say something about Kaludis for the Maple Leafs, saying that this guy can do it, can face both pitchers, and it's not a challenge.
Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. That was the same pitch. And Garces, I wonder if he goes right back to the well here, 0-2.
It just looked like a little bit better of a breaking ball. He wanted the similar spot, but he went even lower, and it still made Kaludis chase.
Can he lay off it this time? Here's the 0-2 from Garces. It's a fastball that's fouled off, and Kaludis looked like he was ready for that.
It looks, yeah, he's sitting what appears to be just sitting fastball just off speed, but you got to remember, if it's an off speed, Garces is most likely going to want to try to bury it low and away. You can't just sell out for the off speed.
Here's the 0-2 again. Kaludis swings and foul tips one at home plate. He just got a piece of it. I was just looking at Jordan Mandalay, who's on deck, and he has a bit of an interesting warm-up for his swings here. He's taken cuts right up against the fence. Obviously, you know, he hit a ball away last time when he got the double. So I'm wondering if he's expecting Garces to come inside, and I think he's just kind of trying to remind himself to, you know, stay inside the baseball, getting ready for his next at-bat. That is, if Kaludis can keep it moving here.
He did look like he inside-outed that ball his last time up, and trying to keep those hands in against a guy like Garces.
Another 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Garces goes upstairs with the fastball. Good mix, and there's 2 away now, and here comes Jordan Mandalay.
5th strikeout of the day for Garces, only 1 walk. Doing a tremendous job, really missing bats today. You know, it was a rocky first inning, but he's really adjusted ever since.
Ben Citarrenio swarming up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. A 2-way player for them. So look at Citarrenios. Now Mandalay. Squaring to bunt. Did that last time too, and last time he also took a strike.
Anything deep to the gaps here with the speed of DeBanning at first, it most likely would score 2. So if you're Mandalay, obviously you want to get a base hit to try to get cash 1, but you can push it into the gap somewhere down the line, you're cashing in a tie ball game.
The 0-1. On the inside corner for a strike. Mandalay kind of walked into that one, maybe to try and make it seem more inside, but now he's really got a battle.
We already know earlier in the ball game the umpire issued a warning to the Maple Leafs, and kind of notice on these the 50-50 calls on the black of the strike zone, the umpire will take a step back and he'll just kind of look at the Maple Leafs batters to see if they're going to do anything. It's been a tough go of things for some of them. I'm not agreeing with that inside call.
Oh-2 from Frank Garces. Mandalay swings and misses, strike 3, and Garces for the second inning in a row has 2 reach, and then he strands them. 5-3 Barrie as we head to the 6th. Nice crowd here at Christie Pitts. Let's take a look at the hillside. Maple Leafs trailing 5-3. And Ben Sidorenios is the new pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs. And he'll face Nolan Macabrota, his first batter.
Interesting warm-up song for Sidorenios. They announced his name, and I started hearing Zombie.
I love that song.
Yeah, I looked around. I'm like, where's Ernie Clement?
Macabrota pops this one up, and Matt Brandt over makes the catch. That is a tough play looking straight up as a catcher. Fabian wasn't going to get there, and Matt Brandt makes it a heck of a play there for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, Brandt executes that play perfectly. What you do, you square your back to the infield, you look up, find the ball, and once you know where it is, you throw that helmet, or that mask, I should say, as far as possible so you don't get the potential of tripping over it. That was executed perfectly by Brandt.
Ben Sidorenios spent 4 seasons at Salem University, the NCAA's Division II. A pitch in there for a strike. Also came through the Toronto Mets system. So maybe some familiarity with Dennis Bailey, the Maple Leafs GM. A pitch in there for a strike. 0-2 here on Keys. Sidorenios trying to carve himself out a nice little role in the Maple Leafs bullpen this season. Was effective last year for the team. Here's the 0-2. That one's in the dirt. The 1-2. A ground ball that's going to squeak through the infield. A one-out base hit for Keys and the Baycats.
I was going to bring up a fun little tidbit about Ben Sidorenios.
Do it.
In the off season, so you know I'm in a fantasy football league with a couple of guys. Sidorenios in that league, absolutely torched me twice. In both of the matchups.
In fantasy?
In fantasy football, yeah.
That's because he's a better athlete than you.
I know. Extremely better.
Here's Cyprian at the dish. Baycats trying to extend this lead. Wandy Cyprian is 1 for 2 on the day. He's scored a run. The 1-0 pitch misses, and it goes to the backstop. That one was just out of the reach of Matt Brandt, and now Barrie's got a runner in scoring position as Clayton Keys is able to move up to second base. Keys had 2 stolen bases in 25 games last season for Barrie. A base hit would score in here from Cyprian. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. And he swings and misses. Strike 1. Wandy Cyprian hitting .286 on the season coming into the day. 14 at-bats over the 4 games that the Baycats have played. Here's the 2-1. Runner going in Keys. Now he's got to go back. This one's high enough in the air to center field that he will have time to get back. Catch is made by Dennis DeBanning, and there's 2 away. Clayton Keys trying to steal third, and, you know, he doesn't have crazy stolen base numbers. I think 6 of them in his inter-county baseball league career coming into this one. He might have read something off of Sidorenios that made him think that he could get that extra 90 feet.
Maybe a little bit slower towards the plate there from Sidorenios, and you know, Keys said, I might try to sweep the bag.
Well, Noah Hull has had an excellent day at the plate, 2 for 2 with a homer.
Single in the second, and like you mentioned, the homer, it was a pure line drive out of the ballpark. It did not get high up there. It was just really stellar line right over the center field wall.
Hull takes a strike. The Barrie Baycats haven't homered against any team in the Canadian Baseball League this year except the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, they're loving their schedule right now.
Two of them came in Barrie last time these two teams played. The 1-1 to Hull. This one fouled off to the left, and this one narrowly misses the ice cream truck. Luckily, there was no one in line this time.
Yeah, the gentleman that works the truck, he was sticking his head out the window. He was guarding it with all his life.
Here's the 1-2. Hit in the air, struck pretty well. This one is back and gone. Keep that home run train going against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Noah Hull has his second of the evening.
Second of the evening, third RBI of the evening as well, and he is really just producing out of the 9-hole spot right now. Tremendous job for Noah Hull.
Oh, he went down and got that one. It was a pitch away from Sidorenios, and he takes it the other way over the left field wall. 7-3 Barrie Baycats, as now the mountain is becoming a little bit taller here for the Leafs.
I actually believe that's the 5th RBI of the evening for Noah Hull. Back to the top of the order, it's Kenise Ejo. 1 for 3, he lifts this shallow center field. Ross is going to be there, and he's going to make the grab to retire the side. So Noah Hull sends another big fly over the left field wall and extends the lead for Barrie. It's 7-3, headed to the bottom half of the 6th. You're watching Maple Leafs baseball. In the bottom half of the 6th, it'll be the first baseman, Kirk Gibson. He came in earlier in the ball game to replace the injured Mike Cicchetto. Pulls the first pitch he sees down the left field line, foul. Gibson, his last time up, he was walked and was stranded on first. Trying to spark some offense here for the Maple Leafs, who are down 4. The story for tonight for Barrie, it's been the long ball. We've had 2 home runs from Noah Hull, home run from Kenise Ejo, Brandon Hernandez as well. On the other side, defensively, it's been sound, solid, and Frank Garces has been shoving. He enters into his 6th inning of work here. Lifted up to second, taking on a hop. Hernandez fires to first in time, and that will retire Gibson. Second baseman Spencer Ross coming up, 0 for 2 on the day. He had a nice defensive play a couple innings ago. It was a line drive that it would have been extra bases for sure if it got through. He jumped at it, was able to snag it down. Now trying to get something going on the offensive side. Had a nice hit his last time up, but it was just right to the center fielder, Kenise Ejo. Watches this first pitch from Garces by for strike 1. Thomas and I were talking about it, where it looked like Ross had better contact than Jordan Mandalay, but he just wasn't rewarded. As that's in there, strike 2 on the inside half. The hits in the ballgame tonight, 7 apiece for each team. It's just the difference is Barrie have been able to capitalize with runners on. Over in the Maple Leafs bullpen, looks like Wilhennis Alvarado is starting to throw. Low and inside, missing ball 1. Garces approaching 100 pitches, sitting at 92. He has 56 strikes and 36 balls. He's been commanding the zone so far tonight. Ross, foul tip, stays alive. Garces has been in command. He's stranded a bunch of base runners so far today. The Maple Leafs looking for that big hit with men on base. Ross chops this to short. Taken. Throw to first is going to be in time. So it's quickly 2 up, 2 down after back-to-back groundouts to the middle infield. Matt Brandt comes up for his third at-bat of the ball game. He's 0 for 2, pop up and strikeout looking. And it was a controversial strike 3 call. The bench erupted after it happened, did not agree with it. Brandt also had a nice pop-up catch defensively. Peel down third, it's going to be saying that he did not swing. High and outside, missing for a ball. Chases the off speed on the outside half. Evened up here, 2-2. Closing in on 100 pitches is Frank Garces. And what has been a tough go of things, he's really been able to manage the damage on the base paths. Only time he allowed runs was in the first. Chopper over to Hall at third. He takes it. Throw to first is going to be in time. 1, 2, 3. Go the Maple Leafs. Garces walks off the field with his head held high. After 6, 7-3 Barrie. You're watching Toronto Maple Leafs baseball.
Guys, over there.
All back here at Christie Pitts, 7-3 Barrie Baycats. New pitcher for the Maple Leafs is Wilhennis Alvarado. Lefty v lefty here against Hernandez. This is Brandon Hernandez, and he tries to square down a bunt and bunts right through it. And they appealed at third base to see if he went around, and clearly he did. A big smile from Alvarado there is that one. He was pretty sure it was going to get called a strike. Wilhennis Alvarado has pitched 3 1/3 innings this season for Toronto. He's given up 3 earned runs and struck out 2. He's ahead 0-2 here against Brandon Hernandez. And then he misses upstairs. Alvarado has been a Maple Leaf since 2023 before coming out of the Toronto Blue Jays organization. Alvarado gets the sign and delivers the 1-2 pitch, and it's strike 3 called on the outside corner, 1 away.
We always mention that if Alvarado is able to get that off-speed working, it could be a really good duo to work with that fastball, and just good mix right there by the young man.
Now it's Noel McGarry-Doyle. Made an unbelievable catch to maybe take away a home run in left field earlier in the game.
Well, if you think about it, that really turned the tides of this game. Maple Leafs were threatening Frank Garces, and that catch gets made. It's been shut down defense ever since.
Yeah. There's the 1-0. High chopper up the middle. Ross has it. Jump throw to first. Oh, it was on line, but just late. And that's an infield single for the speedy McGarry-Doyle.
Yeah, with his speed, you kind of knew that a ball hit like that taken by Ross, it was always going to be a tough play to make.
Well, we've seen Frank Garces on the mound. He was the ERA champion in 2018. Wilhennis Alvarado had that title in 2023. Facing Ryan Rio here with a runner on first base and 1 away in the top of the 7th. Big swing and a miss from Rio, and that breaking ball is sharp tonight from Alvarado. New first baseman into the game for the Maple Leafs is Cooper Tompkinson. The 0-1 to Rio. Eats him up a bit, and he fouls it off.
0-for-2 day for Ryan Rio. Grounded out to the pitcher last time up on what was a very nice grab by Hermida, excuse me.
Nice.
Lost my mind there, partner.
0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Alvarado's got it going here in the 7th.
That's just a really good sign for the Maple Leafs when you have Wilhennis Alvarado performing at his best. It adds so much to that bullpen, so much to the rotation if you decide to bring him back to that.
Well, if you remember back to 2023 when he won that ERA title, he started off really badly. Like his very first outing was really bad, and then he was just lights out for the rest of the season. And the Maple Leafs, if they could get any resemblance of that 2023 season, boy, are they ever in good shape this year.
I remember the conversation that me and you had after that first start saying, if he can get that control down, he can be really, really good in this league. And, well, kind of story writes itself. He was able to get the control of that slider, and it became one of the best pitches in the league that year.
The 0-1. There it is. And it goes to the backstop, and it allows McGarry-Doyle to get to second base, so he's in scoring position. So he missed with that one, but it's sharp tonight. It's really sharp. He's releasing it out front. It doesn't have maybe as much break as we've seen in the last couple of games, but it's a little bit harder tonight, that breaking ball.
For lefties, when it's on, it's nearly impossible to make contact with. For the righties, when it's on, it's looking like a fastball tunneling, and then it just cuts right down to your bottom foot.
This time he just missed low, and the count's 2-1. Barrie looking for a little insurance here in the 7th. Already leading by 4. Chopped on the ground. Mandalay has it. Long throw to first. In time to get him. That was a tidy inning of work for Wilhennis Alvarado and the Maple Leafs. Now they got to get the bats going. Trailing by 4 here against Barrie as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Well, back here at Christie Pitts, it's a different feeling season this year for the Maple Leafs. Increased attention. It's been going up and up and up over the last couple of years. I talked to Rob Butler, who's seen it all throughout his big league career. He says it becomes a bit of a distraction. For me personally, it was. It can envelope you and turn you into something you are not. But after a while, you get used to it. And I wonder if that phase will be kind of in the works a little bit for the Maple Leafs. So when I asked him that question, I was kind of in reference to Yasiel Puig and, well, how did you deal with it and how are you seeing Yasiel Puig dealing with it? And, you know, for all of these other Maple Leafs players, Puig being here means that the eyeballs are on them too. So you almost wonder if that's going to be a bit of a factor early on. I mean, there was upwards of 7,000 people last game here for the Maple Leafs. It was an unbelievable crowd, most I've seen in, you know, my 5-6 year time here or however long I've been with the Maple Leafs. And you know, I wonder if it'll take a bit of getting used to this huge crowds that we see here at Christie Pitts. Yeah,
during the day on Sundays, we've seen numerous big crowds here, and I would not be surprised if we kind of saw that trend continue. It's been good turnouts in the early games. There was a buzz around the ballpark for the first 2 home games. You kind of felt, you know, lineups at the concession stands, down the left field line getting merch and everything like that.
Matt Fabian to center, and Ejo runs it down. Boy, Matt Fabian cannot buy a base hit right now for the Maple Leafs. It was the McGarry Doyle catch last time up. This time it's Ejo who's just a speedster out there and able to run it down with ease.
Yeah, he covers so much ground out there in center field. Truly one of the better defensive center fielders in the CBL. Tremendous job. He gets a great first step. I think that's the biggest thing. There was an interesting clip the other day that got posted about, you know, outfielders taking routes to balls. It was a comparison of MLB players in Nick Castellanos and Fernando Tatis, saying similar play. Tatis makes it look easy. You know, Castellanos lets it drop in for a hit.
He makes it look hard.
Yeah, he let it drop in for a hit, and it all kind of stems down to that first step of an outfielder. And Kenis Ejo, I think every time he's able to display his speed, it's because he's able to get a really good first step.
So you're saying that the average outfielder might have to dive for that ball or not even get there?
I'm just more so talking about the plays that we've seen him make tonight.
Yeah.
You know, he does it with such ease where you take it for granted sometimes of just what that play can be like if the outfielder isn't a top tier defender.
Yeah, he's a lot faster than the average CBL player, and especially someone playing center field. Marcus Connect, who's the right fielder for the Maple Leafs. The Counts 2-1, and the umpire is now talking to the Maple Leafs dugout again. There may have been some more chirping from the bench. Connect hit one off the wall in his last at bat, but he hit it so hard he was only able to get to first base. The 2-1. And he takes outside. And Connect takes a pitch on the outside corner and is visibly frustrated after the call. The count is full. Marcus, 3 for 2 today, scored, homered, drove one in on his home run, and hit a sharp single off the wall. The 3-2 pitch from Moretta. And it's lined into the outfield. This one's down for a base hit, cut off by Noel McGarry-Doyle. And once again, Connect hits it hard, and he's on first base.
3 for 4 on the day, and the only strikeout, it came earlier in the ball game in the third inning where he was out in front of an off-speed pitch. Everything else, it's just been hard contact from Marcus Connect, and that's what we've been so accustomed to seeing throughout his entire Leafs tenure. A guy that's able to put bat to ball very well, and a guy who can really break down the science of hitting. I don't know if you've seen his social media.
Yeah. He's got some crazy videos, man.
It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, love watching those. Puig, a big swing and a miss at Moretta's first pitch.
That swing there by Puig looked a lot more comfortable than the two we saw in his last at-bat.
Here's the 0-1. Puig takes high. Guess we should mention Moretta is the new pitcher in the game for the Barrie Baycats. He played in the Baltimore Orioles system coming up on his way to the Canadian Baseball League. Did that between 22 and 2024. All of it was with the Dominican Summer League team with the Baltimore Orioles. Here's the 1-1 to Puig. Finds the zone. Puig didn't think so. Moretta has pitched an inning and a third so far this season, walked 2, struck out 2, and hasn't given up a run yet.
So there's a conversation going on between the umpire and Yasiel Puig.
Yasiel saying, I think that pitch was inside.
And a conversation between one of the coaches came out as well. Might just be saying, don't watch out for him quick pitching maybe.
Yeah, Brian Sewell's typically on top of it when it comes to just about anything rules-based or defending his players out there. There's the 1-2 to Puig. Big cut, and he comes up empty. Or did he get a piece? Puig thinks he did. And he's not going to win this argument. Puig back to the dugout with his second strikeout of the evening. Well, here's Dennis DeBanning. He's just been red hot. We thought, is the hot streak going to end after the Leafs were off for 10 days in a row? No. He's come out and had another good day at the plate. Check swing, and he went through on the first pitch. Strike 1. DeBanning is 2 for 2 tonight. 3 for 3, I should say. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. And Moretta looks good out there for Barrie.
The off-speed is working right now. It got Puig to bounce back a little bit. It was an inside pitch. And then this one here, it starts in the middle of the zone and just tails out late. Had DeBanning waving at it.
Can Moretta get out of the 7th. Fouled off by DeBanning. That was a defensive swing there. Another 0-2 pitch coming. Dennis DeBanning will need an extra base hit to bring in his buddy Marcus Connect, who's over there at first base. The 0-2. On the ground, a chopper to Hernandez. On the run, throws to first, in time to get him. Another sparkling bit of defensive work from the Barrie Baycats. It helps Moretta get out of the bottom of the 7th, and Barrie holds on to its 4-run lead as we head to the 8th.
Yeah, he wasn't off the bag, but
What I look for in a Rawlings is a combination of things. Something that will kind of maintain for a long period of time. I've had a lot of success with Rawlings over the years.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is the feel. The feel is everything.
It's good to get that feel in your hands, and when you have a Rowling, it's more easy to catch.
Weight goes a long way, and I feel like Rawlings does a really good job of getting you top of the line leather.
As far as the leather, I usually stick to Pro Preferred.
I've actually always used Pro Preferred. I loved it from the start, so I'm kind of a guy, if I like something, I usually don't change it. So since the first day I signed with Rawlings, I've been using Pro Preferred.
What I like about my Rawlings glove is it's always felt the same. And it never falls apart. It feels good every single day I put it on my hand. And it's a mark of a pro.
Well, back here at Dominico Field, Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. New pitcher for the Maple Leafs. This is Graham Sim, who's making his Toronto Maple Leafs debut against Nolan Macabrota. Graham Sim spent last season with the Madonna Crusaders in the NAIA. Big guy out there, righty, 6'4". Hails out of Newmarket, Ontario. Still just 23 years old. So the Maple Leafs have a chance to see what they got here in Graham Sim. 1-0 pitch, low and in.
okay.
3-0 the count now on Macabrota, and he had the green light, pops it up, foul off to the left.
Interesting to see that you would swing 3-0. I don't understand you're up by 4, but still, it's shocking to see that the 3-0 green light is still, accepted.
3-1 pitch. Popped up again. This one's sky high. And that's the first out of the inning.
Was Fabian out there in left field. Does a good job tracking it through the night sky here in downtown Toronto.
Graham Sim delivers a strike. So 3 balls in a row and then finds the zone here, and now he's ahead 0-1 here on Clayton Keys. Sim reached back for a little extra and missed up and away. One and one, the count now on Keys. Line drive, foul off to the left.
Interesting to see. You don't see this very often. Well, Hennis Alvarado, he's out in the bullpen after his appearance, thrown again. Obviously not coming back into the game, but guess just getting more work done.
Here's the 1-2. Maple Leafs have a bullpen catcher that they brought in today, so he's helping Alvarado get some work out there. A 2-2 from Sim. And a little low and inside. Full count. On the ground to third. And it eats up Kalutis at third base. Now it rolls down the line. Play on at second, and they got him. Tag applied by Spencer Ross. Let's take another look at this one.
Yeah, so it starts off, Kalutis just kind of misplays the ball. That'll go down as a single base error, and then taken off trying to get to second was Keys, and he'll be thrown out trying to advance.
Just looking for that extra base with Wandy Cyprian at the dish. And Cyprian takes high. Here's the 1-0. Cyprian hits one high in the air. This one is to medium depth left field, and the catch is made. Tracking back a little bit, Matt Fabian makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Graham Sim, good first inning of work as a Toronto Maple Leaf. And now the offense comes up here in the 8th. Second inning of work here for Moretta, and it's Kalutis who dishes one towards the outfield, and that one's caught at second by Hernandez. That's the first out of the inning on one pitch for Moretta. Now it's Jordan Mandalay who comes to the plate. Maple Leafs down to their final 5 outs here. What's been a good ball game so far. It certainly does look like the Baycats are going to come away with this one tonight, but I mean, it's by the slimmest of margins, it seemed, for the first couple of innings. It's good back and forth affair. The Maple Leafs took a 3-0 lead, then Barrie bounced back with 3 runs of their own, and then the Baycats have just found a way to kind of tack on over the last couple of innings.
They've been able to capitalize on the fact that they get runners on, and then they are hitting the long ball. That's been the story of the game for the Baycats. And for the Maple Leafs, they just haven't been able to get that timely hit.
Mandalay crushes one to left, and it's one hop up against the wall. Picked up by McGarry Doyle, and Mandalay is going to backtrack. It's another long single for the Maple Leafs, but they'll take it. They need base runners here in the 8th.
It's another good old off-the-wall single, but because you just hit it so hard and because of the park dimension, you're not able to take an extra base there if you're Mandalay. But it's just, like you said, good piece of hitting by the Maple Leafs. They continue to put the bat to the ball. Now, in this inning, you're just hopeful that they can start stringing together some of these runs.
Cooper Tompkinson is going to get his first plate appearance of the night, with Mandalay at first. Tompkinson hits a chopper. This could be 2. Hernandez brothers up the middle. Throw to first in time. That's the inning. Quick and efficient for Moretta in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Barrie looking for little insurance before the Maple Leafs have their final 3 outs in the bottom half. Big full moon here over Christie Pitts as we hit 10:13 p.m. here on a nice night for baseball, eh, Christie Pitts?
Are we sure that was a full moon? Looked a little bit like a waxing gibbous.
Okay.
I don't think you appreciate.
What's that? What's a waxing gibbous?
It's where the moon is about 3/4 of the way full.
Here's the 1-0. Finds the strike zone.
Between a first quarter moon and a full moon.
Got anything else? All right, good.
Oh.
1-1 pitch is high.
It is a waxing gibbous.
New pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs, Ryan Capuano. Here's the 2-1 to Hull. Capuano pitched in the home opener here for the Maple Leafs. Before this, spent time with the Marshall Thundering Herd in D1 baseball, the NCAA. Now a swing and a miss from Hull. And the count's 2-2.
There it is for all you people at home. The moon phase. It's a waxing gibbous.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Capuano gets Hull swinging for a strikeout here in the 9th. For this outing, Capuano pitched an inning and a third for the Maple Leafs. And he actually hasn't pitched since May 10th, so it's been a little while, 17 days. High chopper to Ross at second. He's got to hurry. Throws to first. Not in time. Just late. A great effort by Spencer Ross. He couldn't have done any more, and it's an infield single for Canisico, who we've seen use his speed in multiple different facets of this game.
Tons of speed up and down this Barrie Baycats lineup, and they just do a tremendous job of putting the ball in play and legging it out. They're not afraid to take those infield singles or whatnot, and just on display right there yet again.
Hernandez takes up and away. Baycats have had multiple infield hits today against the Maple Leafs. Fair to say that they are babbing the bleep out of the Maple Leafs today.
Where have I heard that before?
Wait, I actually forget.
It was Cam Schlittler.
Right. That's
maybe one of the best quotes I've heard on the year so far.
Yeah, that was really good. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one finds the outside corner on Hernandez.
Hey, Mr. West, what does BABIP stand for?
Okay, I know it's batting average on balls in play, but that's like the one like, oh, this is a hard baseball question, so like you learn to look it up.
Yeah.
It's just the funniest sounding stat. Capuano trying to get a ground ball here from Hernandez, but behind the count 3-1. And that one's upstairs, ball 4, 2-on here for the Baycats in the top of the 9th. That was Hernandez taking the walk. Now Noel McGarry Doyle. So McGarry Doyle has had an impact on the game defensively. Offensively, he's 1 for 3, but he struck out twice. Actually, I think we might have a pinch hitter into the game now. This is the spot of McGarry Doyle, and this one's lifted into the outfield, and that one's one hop up against the wall. Picked up by Fabian. The Baycats are going to tack on another run. An RBI double. Now this throw gets away, and another one comes in to score. The Baycats lead 9-3, and what will go down as a 3-base hit of some variety.
I was going to say it might go down as a double and then a throwing error. That's what's going to go as a double and a throwing error. Second run came in via the air, and it was Noel McGarry Doyle there, number 95, rounded the bases.
Well, there aren't a lot of other players that would be able to get to third base that quickly. So Ryan Rio, big swing and a miss at the first pitch from Capuano. Floodgates have opened a little bit here for the Baycats in the 9th. Maple Leafs had it within 4, but now this lead a little bit more insurmountable. 1-0 on Rio. And he fouls that one off.
Ryan Rio, 0 for 3, walked once, but he's put up good at-bats every single time. Talked about the one at-bat he had where he reached via the walk. It was just a really good job of just fighting off some tough pitches.
0-2 pitch fouled off again. Josh Matlow kind of called out his team, said they needed to be better, they needed to clean things up. Would he be more satisfied with this game today?
I think so. You know, looking at just kind of the grand scheme of things, he got great pitching. The defense was a lot cleaner. Peeled down to third. They're going to say Rio did not go around, but the defense was a lot cleaner than the game last night. I think the offense, it was just as good, if not better, than it was last night.
Capuano's 1-2 to Rio, and he fouls this one off. Boy, what a Canadian Baseball League resume Ryan Rio has. You go way back. He's a late-round draft pick of Philadelphia Phillies, but, I mean, he's made his mark for 9 seasons here in the Intercounty Baseball League and now the CBL. Takes outside in the counts now 2-2. And the big thing, Zach, over those 9 seasons, he's won the IBL championship 4 times. Like, he's putting up pretty crazy numbers in this league. And that pitch just misses.
I think if you go to, go up to Barrie, you ask anybody that knows who the Baycats are, they know the name Ryan Rio. They know he's become a Barrie legend up there.
28 years old, born in Barrie. Takes ball 4 here from Capuano as he heads down to first base. Brings first Francisco Hernandez to the dish. 1 out. Runners on the corners. McGarry Doyle is the runner at third. Rio the runner at first. We've seen speed be such a big component of this game today. I mean, that's something that hasn't been talked about a lot with this Baycats team. They're hard to play against. A lot of it's because of their speed. This one hits the batter. And Hernandez, and he's going to head down to first base. That one caught him right around the hands. Looks like he's okay as he heads down to first.
He'll take his time.
We're going to get a pinch runner for Ryan Rio now. Bases are loaded. Barrie trying to tack on some more runs. Is that Hayden Jaco?
No, it's
Justin Groves.
Former Humber Hawk, OCAA League MVP.
So he'll try and score if Nolan Macabrota can get one into the outfield. And this one is wild. It goes towards the backstop, and everyone moves up another base. 10-3, Barrie Baycats.
It just looks like the wheels have just completely fallen off here in the 9th for the Maple Leafs.
Capuano is just trying to get through this inning. Never easy coming in kind of a mop-up duty situation, but the Maple Leafs don't have anyone warming up in the bullpen. They need him to try and get a couple more outs here. Macabrota crushes this one high and deep to center field, and nobody even takes a step in the outfield. That is a 3-run home run for Nolan Macabrota, and Barrie opens up a 10-run lead here in the 9th.
And he took a second to admire that shot. I mean, it was crushed over that right field wall. Macabrota, tons of power. Mentioned it earlier in the game that you never wanted him to beat you. Well, he just did with a mammoth shot.
So the Baycats came into this game, had some of the lowest home run numbers in the Canadian Baseball League, and we'll have to check after the game is done, but they're right up there with one of the best home run hitting teams now in the Canadian Baseball League. They have shown off the power so far in this one. Brendan Daly is the new hitter into the game for Barrie, and he takes a strike.
They had 2 home runs, I believe, before this game. They have 5 tonight. Ejo Hernandez, 2 by Hall, and now Macabrota.
Daly breaks his bat, grounds one to Spencer Ross. He flips it over to first, and that's the second out of the inning. So they were second last in home runs hit, and now they have jumped into, how many do the Leafs have today?
1.
Just the 1. So now they've jumped into a tie with Toronto for the second most home runs by any team.
Crazy what one game can do for you. The bats were hot. I mentioned they out-hit Kitchener 12-4, so the offense was never the question from last night's game. It was a lot of the defensive stuff. If they can clean that up, and well, they cleaned it up today.
This is Christian Puyul-Genesar at the dish now for Barrie. And Puyul-Genesar takes that pitch down and away, and Capuano, you see him kind of hop off the mound there. Might have kind of tripped as he was delivering that baseball.
Yeah, it did not look comfortable at all. The cleat might have gotten caught. You see he's going to kick around some dirt. Might have just been a little divot point where his leg dropped down and he just clipped the dirt.
Puyul-Genesar dishes one into the outfield for a base hit, and the former University of Toronto varsity Blue is aboard with a single.
And the Barrie Baycats have batted around here in the 9th. Looks like they're going to have another pinch hitter coming up, but really good job done.
Things are starting to get a little convoluted on the lineup card. Have you given up yet?
Carson Barker coming to hit.
So Barker will get an at-bat here. Capuano hoping it's the last one of this top of the 9th and delivers a strike. And this will be, I think this is the first bit of action for Barker as a member of the Barrie Baycats. Here's the 0-1, and he fouls it straight back. It bounces up the hill and lands just shy of us. Capuano has thrown 27 pitches here in this top of the 9th. Now this one's crushed by Barker, but it's going to hang up for Marcus Connect, who makes the catch, and that will end the inning. Baycats put up a 6th spot and put this one pretty much out of reach for the Toronto Maple Leafs. But they've got 3 outs to play with in the bottom of the 9th when we come back. Well, this looks like Kyle Pops coming to the plate for the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs have now seen two-way players into the game. Ben Siderinos on the mound. Pops, who was originally a pitcher, converted into a batter a couple seasons ago. And he's going to get an at-bat here for the Maple Leafs. Pops this one up. Shallow center field. Ejo there to make the catch. Brendan Daly is now in right field. Christian Puyar-Genesar is now the catcher. And Carson Barker is at third base.
Another pinch hitter for the Maple Leafs, Ben Starrett, comes into bat here.
And he lines a ball into the outfield. That finds a gap. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Starrett at second base, and he'll hold up there. And he's got himself a double off of the new pitcher, Brad Grieveson, who's in the game now for the Baycats.
And I remember I actually used to play against Ben Starrett back in the minor levels of Canadian baseball. He played for Brampton, the 17U elite travel team, and I was on the 18U team. Very good hitter, and that was kind of his forte right there. He's very good at the inside pitch, able to kind of take it the other way with power.
Well, after he surpassed playing U, he played for the Grand Lake Mariners in the Great Lakes Collegiate Summer League. And he went and played for the Red Hawks in the NAIA. As Matt Fabian fouls this ball off, and then in 2024 played for the Ohio Christian Trailblazers in the NAIA as well. So comes with quite the resume to this Maple Leafs team. And he's got himself his first double standing out there at second base. Here's Fabian. And he takes a strike, and the count's 0-2. Looks like Marcus Connect is going to take his at-bat. He's the one that's on deck. Two outs to work with here for the Leafs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's upstairs. I mean, this is a 16-run ball game here. We're getting close to the end. We're 3 hours into the game.
Yeah, this is one of the longer ones we've seen in a last little bit here.
The 1-2 pitch just high. Counts now 2-2. For a 16-run game, that's a tidy little line.
Yeah. Which kind of shows early in the season, I think the games were majority averaging about 2.5, maybe 2:45.
Strike three called on the inside corner. Fabian goes down looking. Brad Grieveson with the punch out. Marcus connects. With two outs here in the bottom of the ninth. Ben Starrett, who picked up the double, he's on second base. Marcus trying to drive him in. First pitch from Grieveson. Lined right back to him. What a catch there from Grieveson. The veteran shows off the reflexes, and that'll do it. What a way to end this ball game.
And Marcus Connect just completely drops the bat and throws up the hand and says, "Oh my God." Look at that. What a catch. What a way to end this ball game for the Barrie Baycats.
Well, Marcus, you had a pretty good line tonight. They were bound to get you out at some point. It's a 13-3 victory for the Barrie Baycats. It was a Frank Garces day that started with 3 runs for the Maple Leafs in the first inning, and then the Baycats pitching, a big part of that was Garces, was able to hold them down all the way through, but the offense for Barrie looming large. 13 runs they pick up against this Maple Leafs team in the victory. Baycats had 13 runs on 12 hits. Maple Leafs had 3 runs on 10 hits and made 3 errors as well in the ball game. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.